It's kind of like they're saying everything on social media is authentic and we gonna use it against you in court.
Wack100 speaks a good point regarding the whole Big U RICO. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Olize. Don't forget to subscribe. So yes, we all know there's a Big U RICO involving multiple individuals. Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, probably the most famous names besides Big U. And Wack100 was speaking on the Adam and Wack show, and he posed a question that we've all been thinking. Check out the clip.
Let me ask you this, because you've been to the feds. This is one thing I do have a problem with. We know people get on social media and cap, make up, they become wherever they want to be.
For sure.
It's kind of like they're saying everything on social media is authentic and we gonna use it against you in court. You get what I'm saying?
So that's the feds. The feds play games like that. Now, it's really what they can prove. Like Loose Cannon, for instance, bam. He got 2 episodes. I don't know if it was the same episode, but he was up there with you. One clip, he say that Big U called him or FaceTime him and told him that Nip, you know what I'm saying, just passed. He say he hang up with him, call Nip. That ain't true. Now, we know that's cap.
We know that's cap.
That's cap. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's some cap, that's cap. Now, being that we know that's cap unless somebody mad, but that ain't nothing like somebody could use against you in the feds and be like, oh yeah, we about to get you, you snitched. But the other clip with the robbery, that's gonna get him in trouble because allegedly that really did happen and he got on live camera and said something about that robbery and the feds was actually investigating and talking to the confidential informant, and basically what Loose Cannon said down there word for word is the same thing.
So here go.
Yeah, fam. Social media. People get on here and talk their talk. It doesn't have to be true, but we've seen with the whole Brick Baby and in particular Loose Cannon, what they have said has been referenced in the indictment, in the paperwork with the feds. Is it fair? I'm not too sure, because surely you need hard evidence to get somebody locked up, particularly if you're in a RICO. But the thing about the RICO is it's like an organized crimes charge. Once you're under a RICO, anything you say can be held against you. As we heard in the clip, Loose Cannon mentioned Big U knowing beforehand that Nipsey was about to get hit. But we all kind of know or believe that was all cap. Even though the feds did knock on Adam 22's door and ask for that cease and desist from Big U. Whether that's just trying to spook Adam, spook the people involved, I don't know. It is kind of strange that the feds will be looking into that case. But I guess they have to exhaust all possibilities. But one thing Loose mentioned on the No Jumper platform was the robberies that Big U sent him out to do, and those same robberies were in the indictment. And that's when talking goes wrong. Literally self-snitching. Just imagine if every podcaster, every rapper, words were held against them in the court of law. I know they tried it with Young Thug and even YNW Melly, but those are very specific songs that are very uncanny to the crimes they allegedly have committed. Somebody go on a podcast and just talking, making as if they're like Superman and as a tough guy, that's just part of human nature to talk big. The fact that these days they're making it a point that they can use this information against you and it's just word of mouth, it's just there's no actual evidence, it's kind of crazy. But don't get me wrong, I know there are wiretaps, certain things have been caught being said on tap phones, but there's certain things that Brick Baby said, like the Kill Squad, and when he crashed out on No Jumper, that stuff was in the actual FBI indictment, the paperwork. And you just think to yourself, this is clearly just a man that was in an emotional state saying some crazy things. He was borderline crying. Now, could they have been true, the stuff he was saying? Yeah, it's possible, but you just don't know. So to use that against him is bizarre, because that's not evidence. You can equally argue that he wasn't really being serious and have a defense of, I definitely wouldn't say that on a platform that's got millions of followers. But it's just a scary situation for Brick and Loose Cannon and everybody involved in that RICO. Even though they've been calling in to No Jumper and giving updates, I think privately they're probably shaking at the knees, because we've all heard the FBI have a high conviction rate, maybe at 90 something percent. I heard. If that ain't scary, I don't know what is. But to be fair, their high conviction rate is really because the defendants are facing so much time. They could be facing 20 years. If the feds want to offer you 5, then that helps their conviction rate. It doesn't always necessarily mean you're actually guilty and gonna get banged up. And also, have you got that coin? Have you got the money for high power lawyers to fight the case? You're looking at P. Diddy right now. He's facing life. And because he's got money, he'll fight it to the end. And what we're hearing about the P. Diddy case, we're not hearing much evidence at all at the moment. So I think there is hope for Brick and Loose Cannon. Whether the others on the RICO have as much hope, I don't know. Big U, on one hand, I would be very shocked if he was to beat his case. Yeah, you could talk about individuals have got Big U in this predicament, talking online and on podcasts, and there's been a lot of phone taps as well, let's keep it real. But the certain accusations that's against Big U, a lot of people cannot believe. The whole murder of that young man that used to be his son's best friend. People are struggling with a motive. They're saying he wrote a diss song, but nobody heard about the diss song. Why would Big U do something like that himself as well? But now there's rumors that Big U's son and this victim RW were in a relationship, if you know what I'm saying. But even then, that is not enough motive to take the boy's life. I'm sure we'll get more information regarding the relationship between RW and Big U's sons and Big U. But there's a bunch of cases and charges against Big U, which you might beat 1 or 2, but you're not beating the rest. But that's just my opinion. I want to know yours. Get in the comments, like, subscribe, and peace and love.